Hey everybody, it's Anthony, and quite frankly, I think it's about time to do a video pack war. Basically, I've got a pack of 1981 Donruss and a pack of 1981 Fleer. Now, this was the first set for both of these card makers. Fleer, of course, did a set back in '63, but as far as yearly sets go, after the Topps Monopoly was broken, this was the first year for both of these card makers. The first thing I'll notice is the Donruss pack has a whopping 18 cards in it, which is incredible for a wax pack by today's standards. The Fleer is not far behind with 17 cards. The way that I like to do my little pack wars, because we know it's so official and important here, I like to look at the cards one at a time. The one on top of the deck versus the one on top of the deck. I think that's a lot of fun. And really, there are no rules as far as your personal rules. You know, if you're a Red Sox fan, maybe your common utility infielder, because he plays for the Red Sox, beats Nolan Ryan. Well, hey, that's up to you, even though it's stupid. Anyway, let's go ahead and open up these packs, and we're going to have to take a random card away from Donruss to even the score. You know, kind of like they do on Survivor. So don't call me Jeff Probst, okay? I don't appreciate that. Okay. Opening Donruss and picking a random card from the middle. Okay, sitting out for Donruss will be Dickie Thon of the Angels, who actually wasn't a bad player, but I'm sure there's no real grief that he's sitting out. Let's go ahead and open up the Fleer pack. Both of these had a stick of gum in them, by the way, which was the only year that either one was allowed to do so, because they weren't allowed to do so. Alright, here we go. I've got a big clipboard here where I'm going to keep score for mine, and once again yours are going to be a little different, so grab a piece of paper, Fleer on one side, Donruss on the other, put a mark for each one that you think has the winner of the two, and we'll get this puppy a-rolling. Okay, let's go ahead and start off Donruss with Yankees catcher Dennis Worth versus Pirates outfielder Mike Easler for Fleer. I don't know much about Dennis Worth. I know that Mike Easler did play a part in the '79 Pirates championship team. I'm going to go ahead and chalk that one up for Mike Easler and Fleer. Okay, pitcher Vern Rule of the Astros, that'll be for Donruss. And Ken Griffey, outfielder for the Reds, will be for Fleer. Got to go with Griffey on this one. I think that's a no-brainer. Big Red Machine and Owl. That's another one for Fleer. Okay, Donruss comes back with Steve Howe, pitcher for the Dodgers. Fleer comes with Jose Morales, catcher for the Twins. You know, Morales was around for a long time. He was actually a very good designated hitter. Steve Howe, he kind of flamed out after 4 or 5 years. Even though this is his rookie card, I think I have to go with Morales on this one as far as longevity. It seems like Steve Howe's whole career was just one big comeback. You ever remember that? All right, we're going to chalk this one up for Fleer. And in my book, Fleer's getting a nice little lead here. But Donruss comes back with Twins fireballer Jerry Koosman. Fleer counters with Jim Asian, catcher for the A's. No brainer. I'm going to chalk this one up for my first Donruss. Okay, Donruss follows up with Ken Maka, infielder, outfielder for the Expos. Basically means he played utility wherever the hell you needed him. Brewers counter with Don Money, first baseman for Fleer. Got to go with Don Money. This guy, starting first baseman and third baseman for the Brewers for years. Always put your money on Don. Ha ha. Donruss, Brewers, Bob McClure. Fleer comes with Yankees first baseman Bob Watson. Bob Watson wasn't that bad a player back in the day, and to this day he's involved in the Yankees organization. Got to go with Fleer and Bob Watson. Okay, Padres come back with pitcher Steve Mura. Padres, there's your Donruss. Twins come with Hoskin Powell, outfielder for the Twins. Don't know much about either one of these guys. Hoskin Powell looks like he started quite a few games there in the outfield. Steve Mura, don't think he really got very far in the league as far as innings go. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Hoskin on this one. That's Fleer. Wow. Ron Jackson, first baseman for the Twins. There's your Donruss. John Curtis, pitcher for the Padres. There's your Fleer. Ron Jackson, he played in well over 600 games. John Curtis, the Padres pitcher, he logged over 1,300 innings up to this point. Kind of hard to say. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Ron Jackson on this one for Donruss. Okay, here's probably the hardest decision of all. Twins third baseman John Castino, who probably played a couple of games in his career, versus all-time hit king Phillies Pete Rose for Donruss. Pretty much a no-brainer. I'm going to go with Castino here. Ha! Don't bet on it. Ha ha ha. Okay, we'll go with Pete Rose. Get it? Pete Rose bet. I'm not above stupid jokes, people. Come on. Next, Indians, Miguel Delaney, outfielder. There's your Donruss. Ron Guidry, pitcher for the Yankees. That's your Fleer, and it's a pretty darn good one. Guidry gets the nod. Donruss, Dick Drago, pitcher for the Red Sox, versus Fleer's Pirates, Rod Scurry, pitcher. Well, that was a weird order, sorry. Rod Scurry, rest in peace, just getting started back in '81. Dick Drago had already pitched a lot of innings. They don't list him here on this card, but he had over 100 wins. I'm going to go and go with Dick Drago on this one for Donruss. Make all you Red Sox fans happy. All right. Padre versus Padre. Donruss brings Gary Lucas, pitcher, versus Fleer, Gene Richards, outfielder. Gene Richards was a starter for several years in the outfield. Gary Lucas, I don't know much about him. It looks like he didn't have much of a career up through this point. I'm going to have to give the nod to Richards and Fleer. Dan Meyer, first baseman for the Mariners. There's your Donruss. And Chuck Tanner, manager for the Pirates. There's your Fleer. Chuck Tanner, World Series, many years, many victories as a manager. I think it's a no-brainer going with Tanner. Okay, only a few more to go here. Donruss comes with Silvio Martinez, pitcher for the Cardinals. And Fleer counters with Larry Sorensen, pitcher for the Brewers. Well, Larry's name is only spelled with one R, so that's got to be worth something. Looks like up to this point, well, he did have 18 wins one year. Silvio Martinez doesn't show much about him. Pitched a no-hitter in the minors, for whatever that's worth. So, you know what? I'm going to give this one to Silvio. Just for his hair alone. What the hey? Okay. Next up, Hall of Fame manager for Donruss, Earl Weaver of the Orioles, versus Cubs catcher Cliff Johnson. I know Cliff actually had a designated hitter record in the books for years, but Earl Weaver, Hall of Fame, plus I don't want him to get mad at me. So Earl, you get the nod. Donruss brings Johnny Grubb, outfielder for the Rangers, versus Steve Braun, outfielder for the Blue Jays. Steve Braun was around for a long time for the Twins, the Royals, the Mariners, the Blue Jays, well over 1,000 games. John Grubb was also around for well over 1,000 games. This is probably the biggest toss-up possible. Braun was barely the better home run hitter. So I think we'll go ahead and go with Steve Braun Fleer on this one. All right, Donruss comes with Jim Morrison, second baseman for the White Sox. Cubs come with Jim Tracy, outfielder, and that's going to be the Fleer. Jim Morrison, Jim Tracy, Jim Tracy was just getting started, but I don't remember him going anywhere. Jim Morrison was around for a little while anyway. I'm going to give the nod to Donruss on this one. All right, well, there's our 17 cards. I show Fleer having 10 and Donruss having 7. So it was beautiful, it was fun, we love you. But in the end, 1981 Fleer takes it this time.